Hello and welcome to a topical debate between me and Gloom. I say debate, or discussion about what we feel are probably the top three most depressing games ever made.
Ever.
Well, okay, we'll probably get corrected on this. People saying, "What
Oh,
your opinion? You wrong." But
yeah,
honestly,
this game is so sad. I hated Call of Duty because Sergeant Lieutenant Beetleface died.
Lieutenant Beetleface.
Shut up.
It's actually really accurate because I played them. And they all have names it's like Roach, Beetleface, Donkey, Turd Mouth, Mong Breath, stuff like that. That's not a good start where we're laughing off.
Yeah. It's the wrong video to be laughing in.
But I'd probably say, okay. Do you want to start off with your third most depressing game, or shall I start?
You start.
Okay. Third most depressing game for me got to be Metal Gear Solid 4. It's got really dark theme. It's okay. To put a summary here, it's pretty much Snake, because he's a clone, as some of you probably may know if you've played Metal Gear Solid before. He is a clone, and basically he's experiencing like advanced aging. Like he's only supposed to be early 40s, I think, in Metal Gear Solid 4, but he's rapidly aging.
60s?
Well, I don't think he's sick. I think he's like late 50s to
Okay.
early 60s in that, with his rapid aging, and he's pretty much going to die in a very small amount of time. Well, okay, maybe a couple years.
The last scene is really depressing.
Mm. Now, the whole game is going through the sort of fact that Snake's going to die, and he's sort of saying goodbye to all his characters you've seen for throughout all the series, whilst having to stop his brother, who is basically mind controlling somehow through the arm, which is, trust me, it's really weird. So I won't try to explain. Controlling probably his most common enemy, which is Ocelot,
Yeah.
whilst at the same time trying to stop war, because basically the whole world has gone to shit as usual.
Yeah, as it does. Every
And
game ever.
you see lots of familiar faces from the series die, or just go really retarded and
There's not going
start
to be
going
an MGS5, is there?
Hideo Kojima said that he might actually do it.
Really? I don't know. I thought it was a really good way to
no.
wrap up the series.
No, he said, I was being wrong here. He said that there may be a Metal Gear Solid 5, but if there is, he won't be involved with it. That's what he said. And, okay, let me put it this way. Metal Gear Solid 4, it is such a depressing game. Okay, Otacon, right?
Yeah.
His girlfriend, Naomi, from the first game, kills herself in front of him.
Yeah.
Basically, she had cancer, and the nanomachines in her body kept her from dying of it, but then she took them out on camera to him and killed herself. Cheerful.
I'm sorry. Can I just point something out real quickly about Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah.
Has anyone heard anything more about Uprising? Anyone?
Uprising, you just mean Rising.
Oh, is it Rising? Sorry.
It's still being made, it's just they're keeping
They just
it
haven't
hush.
said anything about it at all.
Well, no, trust me, it's Metal Gear Solid, so they like to keep quite hush about what's going on. I mean, Raiden was never revealed to Metal Gear Solid's 2 protagonist until you literally played the game. So,
Well, that's a bit of a shock,
Yeah.
really.
that's a bit weird to find out. But,
By the way, you're playing as this. What? That would have been a big shock.
Well, my brother
I think.
first
Wait.
saw it.
I want to put something out
When my
about this whole
brother
thing.
first saw it, he just flipped out.
We should go
Um,
through
any-
depressing games and then decide on the list in the end. Like just
Really?
go through the list. Yeah, I think that'd be
Okay.
easier.
Okay. But, wait, are you talking about stopping the recording now, then?
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
We keep on talking about them, but won't put them in order till the end.
Yeah. Okay, what would you say is the third most depressing game, then?
Well, not third. One of the. I don't know where to start, really.
Just a top 3, really.
Yeah, a big depressing. I think I should go on to Majora's Mask now. I'm just gonna say it.
Hmm.
That game was it wasn't just that it was dark, it was that it was a Zelda game and dark.
Hmm. Well, no,
No,
Zelda. Okay, Twilight Princess pretends that it's very dark, but the
but
thing is,
Twilight
it's
Princess is
more.
kind of like this emo kid who thinks he's all cool, but he's not.
Well, he's kind of like the kid who's sort of attention seeking, trying to be
Yeah,
dark. Well, Majora's Mask is that kid who's like kind of tries to act optimistic, but he's just depressed inside.
yeah. I mean, the amount of stuff. I mean, the world is going to end in 3 days. That is the
And
premise.
the premise is the moon is going to come down and kill you in 3 days, which is only about like 6 hours in game time.
I think it's
And
even less.
what? Sorry.
I think it's even less.
Actually, I think every hour is a minute, so I'm not sure.
It's a time. Okay, I'm gonna put on screen the calculations now. Okay.
Uh, But basically, the moon has come down and it's going to kill you, and you have to stop it. But really, it's a game where you just get to see about how depressed everyone is about the fact that they're all going to die.
That's a fair premise. I mean, you're not going to be happy, are you?
It's such a depressing game, but at the same time, it's a really brilliant one at the same.
That the depressing made it so interesting.
Because Ocarina of Time, it's a
Ocarina
really,
of Time was
really
was quite cliche, not in a
well.
bad way.
Ocarina of Time was an amazing game, but at the same time, its story and its sort of subject matter, it was very same and repetitive and very cliche. It was simply Link, go save the world. This one, it was Link, go save the world, turn into a freaking Deku Nut, a Goron, a Zora, look at everything dying around you, and a just such a depressing subject
I
matter.
know. I mean, although I love Ocarina of Time and it's a great game, it was very standard Zelda. It was what you'd come to expect from Zelda at the time.
Great in scope, a great gameplay and all that stuff, but yeah, it was repetitive.
Yeah, but
It was it was rather unoriginal in terms of in terms of story.
and that's why I think Majora's Mask was so good because it literally, I think it was the only Zelda game that could have possibly followed it.
It well, okay, it could have been followed by any, but I think this was the
No, but
best one to follow it up.
effectively,
I think it was the best one to follow up due to the subject matter, due to
it was the only
how
thing that
just
could kind of people think.
original and
People
unique
were
it
like,
was.
Ocarina of Time is such a great game. This is the only one that could be like, oh yeah, by the way, this.
I think
Everyone,
this is it's weird because it's probably my favorite Zelda game.
it's one of mine. I do love Link to the Past though. I have a attachment to that one.
Hmm. Okay, should we move on to number two then for me?
Okay, go for it. Or
Number two, Silent Hill 2. In Silent Hill 2, you play James, who gets a letter from his dead wife, who died 3 years ago, telling him to come to Silent Hill. Well, as the stupid man that he is, he says, okay, and goes straight to Silent Hill. There, he meets a girl who is sitting by a grave talking about her mama, as she calls it.
That's never a good place to
Encounters
start. Mama and
encounters
young girl, creepy.
encounters a crazy fat man and a very small, worrying child. The whole game, it's really just about this whole theme of depression. It has this sort of blue filter that you see going around the whole time. And do you want to know what the really creepy plot stuff going on? You find out that your guy James murdered his wife.
Oh,
She died because he killed her. She was sick with a disease, pretty terminal, but all she was really doing is just sort of hanging on. And basically, he got so sick of her whining and complaining that he murdered her.
ooh. I mean,
You
I know
find
I'm not a
out.
fan of complainers, but really, that's a bit over the top.
hmm
Ooh,
And
that's a
that
plot twist and
woman,
a half.
I think it's Laura, her name.
Yeah, it is
She
because it says Laura's
was,
theme.
she was raped by her dad, and I think it's supposed to be abused by her uncle. And God, it's messed up. And that guy Eddie, well, you see, he gets really awkward around dogs. He murdered a dog because he was bullied by people all the time, and the guy who was bullying him basically tried to pick a fight with him, so he shot him and killed his dog. Yeah,
What a
quite an
guy!
optimistic.
Oh wait,
Mm.
no,
And you
that
really
is a
sort of
creepy.
find out what's really interesting about it, I think, though, is the fact that the whole town itself, you sort of find out that it actually sort of reacts to the person, than like not in general, because the whole thing's got this whole blue sort of water sort of thing going on with James.
Yeah.
Well, that woman Laura, it's all on fire for her.
Ooh.
Everything's on fire and blood's everywhere. It's very sort of hellish in a way. I'm not sure about Guy Eddie, but I'm guessing there's lots of puppies around. But
um, do you
the
have
only
weapons in it? Because I know Silent Hill Shattered Memory, you have nothing.
in Silent Hill 2, well, it follows along with sort of Silent Hill 1 where you have weapons, but the combat's really shitty. But the thing is, the combat's kind of crap in a way that I like, where it's crap so you know your guy is not good with, using weapons.
Yeah.
He just doesn't know what he's doing. He's just sort of playing like a Batman because he's someone who's not experienced. He's sort of a common person.
Yeah, he's just a guy, I guess.
Mm. And do you know what also shows how depressing it is? The enemies. The enemies, a lot of them just sort of bypass you. They just sort of walk straight on and just sort of ignore you. And it's just kind of creepy, really, because of that. That they just they just sort of treat you like you're just not there. You're sort of non-existent to them.
That's
Well,
kind of weird.
and yeah, you'll sort of walk past them thinking, "Oh God, time to fight," but just nothing happens. And then there's sort of it's a, okay, there's certain enemies. Okay, how could I forget Pyramid Head?
Oh, I've seen that guy. What's up with him?
Pyramid Head is sort of executioner figure, which Silent Hill Homecoming, the recent Silent Hill game, not Shattered, other than Shattered Memories, that pissed me off because Pyramid Head was used in that, and he's just not supposed to be in there. The whole point of him is that he's in James's head, and
Alright.
it really bugged me for some reason. It's just that Homecoming doesn't get what they're supposed to be
I was
doing,
playing
but
a
I
really
don't.
good I was playing a really good survival horror game a little while ago called Clock Tower.
Oh, I've heard of it.
It's a Super Nintendo one. I'm like thinking they still
Mm.
had survival before that. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have much of it. This was one of the few good ones. But oh my god,
Mm.
it's great. It's great fun. I mean,
Yeah, I'll
it's
try and get off topic.
yeah. No time
Sorry,
to get off
because
topic.
as we get off as soon as we get off topic, we go on a whole different section.
Yeah, I mean we're already
So,
13 minutes in. Luckily, I have unlimited time limit. Otherwise, this would be a bit annoying.
mm. I'd say the whole theme of it, the depression, the fact that you're playing as the murderer, you're playing as sort of the bad guy, that it's so interesting. You just sort of see this town and all the weird stuff that's going on in it, and you find out that really it's more anything just punishing you for doing what you did than,
Yeah,
actually being
that's a really
possessed and
interesting
evil.
concept. That's something I'm
And
interested in picking up
oh,
actually.
how could I almost forgot about the endings. Now, I'll put it this way, there's I think 5, 6 endings for the game, but the easiest ending to acquire, you kill yourself.
Oh,
Your guy, literally, he has a conversation with his wife again. Then it shows, she's like, "You have to live, James, I forgive you for what you've done." He then walks off, and in the credits, you see a body slowly floating in the water downwards.
it's like the original ending to Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh yeah,
That's a
yeah. And
depressing ending.
the original ending, Conqueror's supposed to kill himself,
Yeah,
which is a
basically
love.
the last scene was you saw him in the mirror, holding the gun, he pulls the trigger, you hear a gunshot as he goes black.
Mm.
Ouch.
But yeah, the other endings. Well, okay, the other one, which is just where you just leave Silent Hill with the little girl
That's lame.
who's mentioned earlier. But others include such as your guy. He walks in to a room and finds out the person who's been controlling Silent Hill all time was a little dog on a keyboard with a headset. Silent Hill is one of the funniest. Silent Hill 2 is a game that's really funny for all its depressingness.
That is really dark humor.
It's just hilarious, but also tragic in a way.
Yeah,
So,
wow.
another ending
By the way,
includes.
guys, this video contains spoilers.
Oh yeah. Oh God, okay. Metal Gear Solid 4 is 3 years old at least. So
I
I,
know,
if that's
but some
right.
people
And
might
Silent
not have
Hill
played
2.
it.
God damn it, Silent Hill 2 is really old. So
I
you know.
haven't played it though.
Oh yeah, but
I did
a
know
lot
about it
of
though.
people haven't played it. Um, I was saying another ending. You're abducted by a UFO, which
Okay.
is quite hilarious. It's literally in, while all the other endings have actual like proper game graphics, the UFO cutscenes, which are in all the Silent Hill games, are just done in this really weird cartoony style. Where literally you
Right.
just get abducted by the guy from the first game who's just like, "Have you seen my daughter?" And then you just go on a magical space adventure for some reason.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's as weird as it sounds.
I gathered.
But but anyway, on to your second most
Well,
depressing game.
second, I don't know my order. That's the annoying thing.
Okay, we all know what number one's gonna be. Well, we both know.
Yeah.
So, what would you say then?
What for?
Second,
I don't know.
you really can't think of it.
I can't.
Oh,
Send me a
come on.
Skype message me, because I'm stupid.
What, just something depressing?
Yeah.
Just anything.
And
Okay,
I
how about
don't know.
I just tell you something, and
Okay.
then you think about how depressing it might be. Okay, I'm trying to remember the name of this game, and I'm really annoyed at myself because I cannot remember it. You should probably pause this part while I figure this out.
Okay, guys, we'll be right back. And I just remembered Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh,
Oh
I don't,
my god.
I don't know how I forgot about that because there's a very, very famous game.
It's a very good game too. The whole game is basically you have to save this girl and by killing the Colossus, which are these huge demons, right?
Well, here's the thing. They're not. I don't even think they're demons because
They're huge
you know what?
things, okay?
That they're quite. They don't really go out and openly attack you. They're just sort of okay. I think there's like a couple that will attack you straight on thing, but you really just you go out to kill them just because really. It's because you
Well,
sort of
you have to
feel
save
like it.
someone.
Well, okay. Well, you don't feel like it. You're told by a demon,
Yeah.
which if you want to save this girl, you have to go out and kill them.
Anyway, let's go into a bit more deeper. Basically, this is one of the most games where you feel as alone as any game before.
It's only you and
It's
your
just you.
horse.
You and your horse against everything. Well, against these big colossus. And then you get through the game. It's a very captivating game, and there's no music for the most part.
Well, there's music, but it's so depressing and sort of empty.
But a
It's
lot
kind
of
of
there
hollow.
isn't. Sometimes there isn't music though.
I was saying it's intentional though.
Yeah, I know. Like how in I really like the effect in Dead Space where when you go outside, like you know when there's bits of the ship that have been smashed off, all you can
Yeah,
hear is Isaac just going. I thought that was really cool.
yeah.
But that
There's
game's
that sort
creepy,
of
not
effect.
depressing. Anyway, then the game you get to the end and
Well, put it this way: you think the girl's gonna be saved. Oh, and she is, but you get turned into a baby. You get
betrayed.
royally fucked over.
Yep. You get
It's
betrayed,
such
and it's all because he believed this demon, and he kind of put it on himself.
well, kind of, but at the same time, he was trying to do a nice thing.
Yeah, but he was fooled by his own want to save her.
Mm. He loses his horse in the process. It's tragic. And the girl he's trying to save, well, she's saved, but he turns into a baby, so he never gets the thank you.
Yeah,
It's it's so cruel.
you go through the whole game and
It's
you really worked hard on it, and then it's just like, oh, by the way, no. Oh,
but I give it props though. It manages to do it in a way which just doesn't make me like get really pissed off. You know,
yeah. You just think,
it doesn't
oh,
do it. It doesn't do it
you
in a
don't feel
way where
angry about yourself. You feel sorry for him more than anything.
yeah.
Oh, that's a good game.
But should do number one because I felt bad talking about this game. There's so much to say about it, yet so much I want to say about it because it's so depressing.
Wait, what? Which one?
Number one, most depressing game. We both agree on it.
Go on, you can
We've
say
got
it.
to
I'll give you the honor.
Motherfucking mother free.
And although that sounds like a weird choice, because the game does have humor in it,
Oh, Mother Free is a game
it's
that it's the tragic humor. It's
yeah.
funny, but it's depressing at the same time.
Ugh. The game has so many. I mean, Earthbound wasn't depressing in the slightest.
Earthbound, yeah, it
Earthbound was
was
good,
quite.
but it wasn't sad.
hmm
Earthbound was really funny actually for a lot of the part. And while this game does have humor, um,
It's backed up with equal depression.
if not more. I mean, the game starts off, you're like, happy land, oh, a fire, oh, well, no harm will come of
Oh,
this.
nothing's wrong,
And
Cody.
it's like, oh, I wonder where my kids are. Hi, what happened? Your wife has been murdered.
Done,
And this
done,
is after playing
done.
Earthbound, where you thought this was going to be another happy, fun game. You're like, oh. And
So,
then the scene that really sums up. This is on the Game Boy as well. That's half the weird part of it. Is when Flint just goes mad and starts attacking people.
yeah, he literally
He
beats
loses it
up a bunch of people
just because
with
he's
a
lost it.
giant stick. It's so tragic. It really show. It's a great game though. It shows how people actually deal with loss like that.
And it's true. That's how people don't just go like. People don't just cry. That he goes mad over it in
hmm
a way. He can't. I mean, when you're hit with a bombshell like that, people can't cope so easily.
Mm. I'll put it
And I
this
mean,
way: he loses. He loses. Okay, the dad Flynn. He loses his wife. His son runs away. His other son is dead, and his wife is dead.
pretty much, yeah.
And then, just to cap it all off. Okay, you defeat the final boss. You're like, okay, oh, that's good. But then you go and find out that there's still one more person, and that is Klaus, the other son, the one who's supposed to have died.
And the worst
He's
part
been
is in
brought
that
back to
whole fight,
life.
Lucas, because when you start off as Lucas, he's a really fragile boy. He can't do much for himself, and he suddenly reverts back to that for the last fight. Lucas is unable
Yeah,
to attack Klaus.
and you get hit, but the ghost of your dead mother shows up and is just like,
Have you seen the original
bitch, please.
background for that fight?
Yeah, isn't it just like,
It's Klaus's face with these white, dead eyes.
oh, I have not seen that.
Look it
That,
up. Look
that
how
I will.
unused Klaus background. I'll have an image of it on screen now.
Mm. But God, it's such a depressing scene. It's so tragic. It just makes you feel like shit.
And
And they
another.
they, they, they
Go on.
they don't even show the fight. They just show text doing it. And
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it even more depressing.
And then you go back a few chapters to chapter 6, where basically Lucas falls off the helicopter type thing, and basically, to put it simply, he hallucinates about seeing his mother,
In a flower field,
and he's
sunflowers
chasing
are used.
after her to try and get to her. But
If you actually look at it, sunflowers are used constantly throughout that game to symbolize his
yeah,
mother.
they are
They're
actually.
they're there at this funeral. Her
Yeah,
funeral.
they're in quite a lot of
They're,
places if you look around.
mm,
And then the last thing that happens in the game, you pull the last needle thing from the ground and it's supposed to make the world good. Instead, the world is destroyed.
I just like to say I saw the unused Klaus face, and Jesus, that is depressing.
And can you imagine that
Us-
like swirling around in the
Yeah,
background? It could be even more
and also
creepy.
and
Yes.
also same time, yeah, the world literally ends.
But then there's a really
Just
interesting part that happens right after even after the credits. If you've
and
seen the logo for the game, which I'll put on screen now, once you beat the game, all of the metal is removed.
really?
Yeah, it just has it in trees and grass,
Oh,
which
okay.
kind of shows a new beginning. But you've ended the world,
Yeah. Well done, Lucas. Way to go, buddy.
and I don't know. You feel for Lucas a lot throughout the game because he is just a child, and they put
Hmm.
that into respect more than any other any other RPG that I've played, because a lot of
I'm saying this.
JRPGs involve young children, right?
There's so many JRPGs which show young kids who join along to save the world, but they're such annoying little brats. And this kid, he whines as much as them, but god damn it, I don't mind him
He
whining, because god
whines
damn it, he's
because
in a
he
bad situation.
because he's real. A big way of describing the game, people can't describe the game very well, is human. Every character in there is real.
They're all very, very well done. They're very well described.
The script is probably one of the best game scripts ever written in
I'd
terms
say
of
for a JRPG, it's fantastic in
yeah,
terms of story. 'Cause there's a lot of JRPGs which, while they have great gameplay, the characters I cannot give two shits about.
the characters are the same as every other.
Mm.
And this is a
There's
different
always the
take on a
annoying
similar
kids, and
yeah, this is a different take
but
on a similar person because he's gone through a lot in his life and he's not going to be just all like happy doodah
mm.
friends, family, love, love, love.
But
He's
yeah,
you know
I'd say the music in the game also really represents that because it's such a great score for this.
that game has some impressive music, and the
Mm.
Mother series is very renowned for it. But I would say that's the best of the series.
Now, before we end it here, I'd like to point out some of my nominations, which I think are games which could have gone on here. Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Don't laugh, it's a serious subject.
I'm sorry.
My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic.
You know,
The Game Boy
I'm
Extravaganza.
just gonna have to say the ending. One of the ponies breaks their leg. He never got his weird tattoo thing. It was just friendship isn't so magic in the end of that game.
Thank you for watching. I'm BowsersBestKoopa.
And
I've enjoyed my glue. PRP. I'm off to kill myself.